Amigos de Estación Hardbase, sean todos bienvenidos a un nuevo capítulo del programa. El día de hoy estamos grabando con este titán de la escena hardstyle en el mundo. Me refiero a Imperatorz. Imperatorz, how are you?
I'm great, my man. Thank you so much. From the introduction, I understood Titan, like Titan, so I take that. Right. I'm glad to be here. Thank you for the invite.
How have your days in Mexico City been?
Really long.
Why?
Really long, but really good. It's for me. It's the first time that I really had to fight a little bit with jet lag, so to say. So basically, when it's like 5-6 o'clock here, it would be exactly like my time. I would go to bed in Europe, and then overcoming that point and then going on all night is a challenge. But overall, I had a really great time. You guys took fantastic care of us. I think I've seen so much of the city, and I believe I could still be here for like 2 weeks and still see every day something new. You know what I mean? It's fascinating for me. The Netherlands, we Googled it. The Netherlands is Mexico City has more people living in it than the whole country of the Netherlands. So imagine what's all still possible to do here. That's crazy.
This is not your first time in Mexico, right?
No, I've been playing at Dreamfields in Guadalajara.
Yes.
Guadalajara. We will figure it out. Don't take it too personal. But I've been playing there at Dreamfields in 2023 and had also like an amazing experience, right? But it is different than Mexico City, right?
Yes.
First of all, vibe-wise, plus Mexico City is so big, bro. It's vibrant. There's a lot of, like I said, there's so much happening all the time.
And how was Dreamfields?
Dreamfields was great. I mean, for me, I did the closing, and closing is always a bit tough, so to say. But overall, the vibe was really great. Everyone was super nice and friendly in general, and I think that for me, it's just a blessing that I can play my music in Mexico. So I'm happy for everyone who shows up, and I'm always happy to just do my thing and having fun with it.
The comments of the fans, and they say something like, "Oh, Imperatorz make justice for us because you was the only artist of Raw and Mexican crowd. You already see in the epic party, they loves go hard,
Yeah. They are matching the energy from the music, What I realized is that also in Mexico, the people love classics, which is also amazing because I love classics. But it's also cool that they can match the energy to the raw song, right? Everyone who has seen me perform knows that standing still is not really my thing, right? And it's cool to see that the people are matching it. Makes my life also better, It's how to say. It gives me energy when I see that the people are having energy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know that also from playing. If the crowd is like on fire, then you're having way more fun, and that's nice. I love it.
I would like you told me more about your history because maybe the people know who is Imperatorz right now, but I think not all the persons know your history. How did you already start? Also, tell me everything.
Look, I mean, we started off as a duo, right? And I think, look, I go to parties. I listen hardstyle since 2008, so this is almost 20 years, bro.
Oof.
Right, I listen hardstyle for so long, and I've been going to parties a lot, and I met my ex-partner Mitchell because Imperatorz we were a duo in the beginning, and we had like the same kind of vision of what we wanted to do, drivey, a bit like dark, raw, what nowadays like the old Regain sound, the old Warface sound, in that kind of direction. And we started off. We had, I think, like a really nice run together. We remixed for Digital Minds a track. We remixed for Cripses. We made collaborations with Jason Payne and I think along the way our music taste just moved a little bit across from each other, right? Where I wanted to do a little bit more, less darker music and a little bit more, uplifting and heavy. Mitchell still liked the more darker sound, so to say. And at some point we just had a discussion and brought it to the point of, is this still going to work in the next 5 years? Are we both happy with how it's going? he also wanted to go on his career for the government where he was working at that time. So he said, I want to focus there also because it gives me a lot of options and I'm at home weekends and stuff like this. So that is basically the point of when we split up in 2021, I think we split up. And since then I'm doing it by myself, which is time consuming, but it's nice that, I can do my thing as I like it. You know what I mean? I have so much respect for duos like DJing and Estefan, as example, who are for, 15, 20 years together as a duo. As everyone knows who has a relationship, it's not super easy to always be aligned and always stay together. So big respect for that. I'm happy to do it solo now. I don't know how far we can go back. I think since then, I've been releasing so much music with different artists. I'm really happy to collaborate with a version as example, or also adjust. It's just nice that I made really good friendships out of my passion, and that is, I believe, something what music really does for a lot of people. I think for you as well, right? You go to parties with some people, you meet them new, and then all of a sudden you become like really close friends. You strive on the same kind of energy. It's like literally where the magic happens in music, right? And I think in hardstyle, because it is so small compared to, I don't know what's in Mexico, pop and reggaeton. As example, if we keep in Mexico the example, hardstyle is so small compared to reggaeton. But the people who love hardstyle love it with everyone together. You know what I mean? It's like a really strong, dedicated group of people.
What you came first, DJ or producer?
DJ.
Who teach you?
DJing is my friend Timo, aka Hateful from Germany.
Timo.
Yeah. Shout out.
Shout out to Timo.
Shout out to Timo. Hey, he took the time to explain me how it works, because we had like pre-parties at his place, and then there was DJ equipment, but my friend, I had zero idea how this works, when to press play, how to beat match and everything. And he was the guy who took me on the hand and showed me like this and this. You have to look for, press play when a drop comes, make sure you really beat match, right? And then over time I got more into it, and I love DJing a lot.
Did you remember with what kind of players you start?
Oh, there was the Pioneer CDJ 350 he had.
Okay.
So it's like
small one.
Yeah, indeed, the small one. And then I had at home from a friend of mine a controller with Traktor music.
Okay, yes.
It's like a small controller. And then at some point I bought the Pioneer XDJ RX1.
Okay.
The all-in-one, right? That was the first big investment I did into myself and into my career, right? And I've been playing every night at home, right? I put it up, put it speakers. I've been just playing every night. I recorded sets for car rides and everything, just putting in the hours. And I mean, you know the feeling, right? If you can play the music you love, especially the tracks you like, you don't have to listen to a set where you have music you don't like. You make only sets with bangers.
Yeah, sure.
Well, nothing cooler than that, right? So that is basically how it started. And then I got a Facebook reminder just recently that 11 years ago, I had the first time a studio session with someone where we started working on music.
Really?
I just got a Facebook reminder. It's already 11 years ago, which is insane. And I had zero idea from producing, right? But it was the first time sitting with someone. And then the concept of making something is just so great, if I have to decide nowadays, I think I prefer still DJing over producing, but with producing, it's just, if you have a good creative flow, man, I can sit 10 hours in the studio.
And it was hard to learn to make hardstyle?
Yeah, hardstyle is I think that hardstyle was one of the hardest genres to make, because what we do is I nerd out like a tiny bit. I try to explain it as easy as possible. In hardstyle, we mix kicks. A hardstyle kick is basically so much distortion, so we ruin a sound until it sounds good. You know what I mean? Hardstyle producers understand distortion. Everywhere else in the most genres, they try to take the distortion out of it, so it sounds clean and not like noisy. So we make good noise, so to say, right? And it is still a tough cookie sometimes. I wouldn't say I'm the best producer. I also still get help here and there because, you know, it's never bad to ask for help, I think, in general.
Did you remember the name of your first song?
Yeah, Imperatorz Recruit on SoundCloud. After that was Imperatorz fucking Machine Gun, which was, hear me out, one of the first tracks was a BPM race. It went from the first drop to the second drop, it went up 5 BPM or 10. But then, I know what afterwards, then I made, Ways of War together with Tarek, which is still one of my favorite tracks I've ever done. Then Digital Minds remix and Resurrects collab. Anyways, so much music.
Don't worry.
Yeah. For me, as example, talking about old music, I made back in the days a collab with Bloodlust under his old alias, under Magnificent. And
Magnificent?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, check it out on SoundCloud. Manji, I'm so sorry that I spilled the beans here, but listen to that stuff. It's so good. It was already so good back in the days.
Get me out of here.
I think the track Outer Here is also on Spotify. It's really old, so please don't judge it. But
that was it's nice.
It's a full circle moment because now we made a new collab and the sound difference is
too different.
Bro,
yes, I can imagine.
Insane.
Okay, and I want to know why you choose Rawstyle.
That's the energy behind it, right? I think Rawstyle, if you compare it a little bit, has like that certain kind of energy and drive is really hard to explain because it keeps you moving, it keeps you, it keeps you always entertained. It's maybe a little bit too much ADHD for some people, which I also understand. But if you see where Raw started to where we are, the sound changed so much. Back in the days, we had more focus on melodies, we had a bit more. We had a here and there climax, like more melodic drops in it. Nowadays, a lot of the Raw, not everything is just focused on like hard drops and always a surprise and always, for that element, which is also cool. But if you listen to it all day long, I think it's a bit more exhausting, right? That's of course taste. So I think for me, Raw, when I started, was the perfect balance between atmosphere, but also still like heavy drops, I started listening to Psychopunks, Kuhn, D-Block, Estefan, Alpha Twins, Magma Derp, I think it's Climax 2006. I think that was one of the first videos I ever saw, which really got me hooked on that kind of music. And then, and anyways, I think Raw is just, it has a specific energy. I think you need to hear it once live with people. I understand when you don't know it and you listen to it at home on your AirPods or in the car, it's cool, but you need to be like you need to be in it. You need to be with people around who have the same kind of energy. I swear it's addicting.
What do you consider is the most difficult part at the moment to do a track?
To make a drop which sounds not like something which has been done already and to not overcomplicate it. I think that where I struggle with at the moment is to make like 2 really good heavy drops. You know what I mean? Raws at the moment, there's not a lot of melodic drops happening. So I think that a struggle for a lot of producers, and I talk with a lot of my friends. They say it's just hard to make like 2 drops, and then the first one is always like cool and fun. But then the second one, if you try like, this has been done already, and this sounds also like, it sounds not good enough. And, I think it's the creativity maybe in this regards, because it has so much has happened in the last 2 years. That's too much for me. I mean, I'm a boomer, right? I'm old.
And sometimes happen, you think, my track is ready, and you put it out and no, I think I need to move this.
Yeah.
Sometimes happen.
Bro, not just sometimes. That's Michael can or I just can tell you a story about that. I'm not really easy satisfied with my stuff. That's why I also don't release as much as I should have, but it gets more. But I think it's just at the moment the creativity, because the Dutch market is really demanding on what and how they want stuff. right? And then it's more like, do you do what the people want, or do you do what you want, you know? And that's what I struggle with. But I will do a bit more melodic stuff in 2025 because I feel it more, right? And I don't want to force myself doing stuff I don't like. I think nobody should ever do that, right? It sounds so cliche, but if you do really what you like, that's really it. But yeah, we shall see how it goes.
And which are your influence at the moment you are making music?
Yeah. Look, I don't listen hardstyle at home, really. I listen maybe it's classics, but I listen a lot of house, drum and bass.
We're gonna do a little stop there. What kind of classics or which artists? Can you say some names or some tracks?
Look, for me, as example, DEFQON.1 classics is for me. I think it's for me was the best music which has ever been made, right? And I don't want to, sound like cringe or so, but I think DEFQON.1 classics is for me music made addicts. That's one of my all-time favorite songs. I think the old Coon stuff is also really, really great. When he did like Million Miles and all around that time. Oh God, if we go into classics, David Sonar.
Really?
Bro, the old David Sonar stuff, my friend, is basically the beginning of hardstyle. You know what I mean? And I'm blessed now that I can meet these people, talk with these people, even work with those people. You know what I mean?
This is the first time you work with David?
Yeah, it's the first time that I really met him and that we talk. But I mean, his music is everyone. I would say everyone who's over 20, so to say, listens hardstyle for already a while, knows David Sonar, I think. Right?
Yes.
And if you don't know it yet, check it out. Really, it's great music. And there's also a great guy behind it.
You was talking about other genres. You found the inspiration, so
for me, house music, right? I listen. I like house, tech house, bass house, UK garage. Drum and bass is for me. Drum and bass is for me a genre I go to parties. As example, I don't visit hardstyle parties too often anymore. Only classics. And
I can ask you why.
For me, it lost a little bit the raw events nowadays lost for me a little bit the romance behind it, so to say.
Yes,
because
I can understand the point.
Because if you eat pizza every day, you maybe don't fancy a pizza anymore as much as you did before. I hope that makes sense for everyone. And for me, when I go to a drum and bass party, there's just so much new things, right? Because I listen to drum and bass, but I don't know by far as many tracks as in hardstyle. So when I go to a party for dubstep, drum and bass, house, there's so much new, sorry to swear, so much new shit happening where I feel like, damn, that is so fire. And then I try to implement it as much as I can. But, it's sometimes hard to use something from house and then make it hardstyle. So I try to find there like a nice balance. In overall, I want to go more to concerts, watching like Rawstyle. I will go to Linkin Park. I want to see Green Day. I think it's just it's good to keep your horizon open and to sometimes, listen something different.
Talking about different things, which one is your favorite hobby? Not
hobby.
Yes.
Yeah, gymming sounds so cliche. Look, my work days, and it sounds maybe a bit sad, but all I do is I work, I go to the gym and walk with my dog. That's basically the most I do. I think one of my hobbies is, for when I'm at home, is cooking, right? I really like to cook because there's nothing better when you make yourself good food, you know what I mean? And also you have, when you invite friends, right? Everyone orders then their food, mostly, right? But I invite, as example, then 4 or 5 friends over, and then I just cook. And then I make something what I wouldn't do for myself, as example, because for me alone, I don't need to cook like the most special dishes. But when then friends come over and you can make something and see that they like they like also what you did, and I don't know. I think cooking is one of my hobbies, aside meeting, of course, my friends as much as possible.
And what is your favorite food?
Oh, that's difficult. I like the Italian cuisine a lot, right? I think I like risotto. I think like a good risotto.
Risotto.
Yeah, a good risotto is really nice. my favorite food I make for myself, as example, and it sounds really basic, but I love to make scrambled eggs. Look, hear me out. If you take a toast as example, right? It's nice and crunchy. On top of it, you took like a tiny bit of truffle mayonnaise. Then you make scrambled eggs, tiny bit of butter, tiny bit of cream cheese in it. Swirl it, put it on, a little bit of parsley, maybe a few roasted onions. My friends, hear me out. This is really it. Some mango habanero sauce maybe on top of it.
Nice.
That flavor explosion you get, and it's so simple. But if I go out for dinner, I try always to eat something which I haven't had before. So when we were now in Mexico with you guys, how was that soup called again?
Pozole?
Pozole, yeah, as example. Never had that in my life. It's fascinating. It's great. Trying new things also. I think I ate 50 tacos in the last 4 days or so. Taco pastor, my friends.
Taco pastor was your favorite taco?
That is so good. That was like the spicy greens sauce they had with it. I don't know.
Okay. There are different kind of spicy sauce.
Yeah, that was so good, right? I love the Mexican cuisine. It's great. Large drinks, a lot of tacos, like finger food, what you can do with your friends. It keeps it like nice and open, so to say. So I know why you guys like your food.
Okay. Is it difficult to balance your work with the music and festivals? Because it's like today, you are now in Mexico City, but you have your own work, So it is difficult.
I'm a workaholic, so for me it's okay, right? I'm used to it. I worked until just a few months ago, still 40 hours a week next to DJing and producing. Nowadays I work 32 hours a week, so just 4 days from Monday to Thursday. And still, basically all my friends tell me that I work way too much. Right? But for me it's okay. I still feel like I can manage everything. It is difficult to manage my work and my private time, so to say, my Kevin time.
Yes.
You're also working a lot, I can imagine.
Yes,
right?
for sure.
And then taking like sometimes some time for yourself is for me really hard, because I feel like I have the next thing to do. I have a deadline here, and I could lay now on the couch, or I could work on that music stuff I still have to do. I feel like I have to work. It's really hard for me to chill and do nothing.
I ask you outside this studio, hey, Kevin, what do you do in your free time? And you answer me like, I make music. All the time.
Look, at the moment, I just spend so much time in the studio because I feel I still have so much more to learn and to do. And I think this will stay for probably forever, because you never know everything, right? But what I do for fun, so to say, in the studio is, instead of making hardstyle and kicks and stuff like this, I make house. Or I work on drum and bass, or I try now to make a few like cool hip-hop beats, just trying something different to extend your horizon a little bit and your production knowledge. But yeah, I spent a lot of time in the studio. Shout out to Aversion. So many people try to force me that I buy a PlayStation 5 so I can game with them, but I have resisted until now. So it might come, maybe when the new GTA 6 comes out, maybe then I will get a PlayStation and then game with the boys, because I know everyone will play fucking Grand Theft Auto. Right? I can't be the one boomer who sits at home and is not doing it. Like I said, I'm working all day, every day. I'm happy I have a dog, right? Pablo, yeah. But that's free time for me, walking dog.
And if a moment, if you could change music gender, what would it be?
I think I would try to go in a house-ish direction, but look, with my second act is called Sugar Punch, right? And there I just want to do everything. I want to try to not just do like one genre. So I will release, hopefully this year, my first house release over there. Maybe release a drum and bass track. Just whatever I want. I think there's a few acts like Timmy Trumpet who made it perfectly, who can play like from drum and bass to dubstep to hardstyle, and everything in one pack is free. That is literally creative freedom,
Yeah.
and the people
Yeah.
the people accepted for it. You know what I mean? If I would do now a drum and bass track under Imperatorz, I think that a lot of people would not, maybe not liking sounds a bit hard, but would maybe not understand why, and then think, do you stop with drum and with hardstyle? So, no, I don't want to be put in a box. I want to do what I like, and I want to do my passion as much.
Put
as
your
I can.
own essence.
Indeed. And house is nice. It's also worldwide a bit bigger. I would like to, travel the world a little bit, see new places, and get to know more of people. And I think it's with house a bit more approachable than with hardstyle. But I will not stop with hardstyle, so please don't worry, my friends. Right? I went. It sounded now really good that I wanted to do something else, but I will keep making raw.
Yes, yes. It was just a question. It was difficult for you to get a place with the top DJs of hardstyle.
Look, I don't think that I have that spot yet. I'm still fighting for it every day. But it sounds again a bit difficult. But when I came up playing at the DEFQON.1 or at the Decibel, also had a little bit more special feeling because there were not too many spots available. So there was, back in the days, there was just one raw stage, or a really small extra raw stage. Extra raw became so big over the last years. And nowadays it's a bit, I think, since festivals became now also 4-day events, right? They're like DEFQON 4 days, or Decibel has now 3 days full on open. I think there's just more spots available in this regards, and people are fighting nowadays, I think, a little more for the spots, so to say. And so it is for me. I don't have any spots granted, right? I need to work my ass off still every time to play at a DEFQON. I'm in a comfortable position that I am already fairly big, right? And that I have a fan base, but it's not guaranteed that I play at DEFQON every year. I know that I don't know if I'm allowed to say, but I know that I will play at DEFQON this year, as example, right? Because I had a good year last year. But if I make now music when nobody listens and nobody is interested in me, I will also not get a spot.
But how many times have you played in DEFQON 1?
So I think from 2018 until this year, basically I played almost every year. I started at the Purple, then I had then the year after I had an opening spot on the Indigo, and that was insane. I started playing, I expected nothing, and after 15 minutes the whole place was packed. And that was for me like, a moment where I think back at, where I'm like happy, and then playing Indigo again, playing my first time in the Blue. I'm still shitting my pants when I have to play in the Blue. Bro, that place is so big, you know what I mean? That fits 25,000 people in.
Yes, I know.
And then you sit there and you're like, do I even feel the 10? Am I good enough? Did I have a good enough? You're worrying too much instead of enjoying. Bro, I play fucking Blue. You know what I mean?
Yes, for sure.
A lot of people would.
And I think Blue stage is the dream for many artists,
Yeah, and a lot of people would love to play at the Blue. So that is where I have to grow as a person and be more like, enjoy the moment, stop worrying, But I guess we all have a little bit of that in us.
And what do you think was it that led you to be there constantly?
Oh, I think that I have a good constant output on music, and that people still have interest in me as a person, like with my performance and with my energy, so to say. Of course, also being signed with a bookings agency in the Netherlands helps, right? It makes life easier to get spots like this. Of course, if you're independent without an agency and you don't have like a big hype or something, it's really difficult to get these spots, right? Especially in the Blue. I think like on the Talent, on the Purple is maybe a bit, I don't want to say easier, but maybe easier, right? But of course for the Blue you need to have a certain kind of profile, because it is a big fucking stage, my friends.
Which country have you been to as a DJ? Obviously, Mexico.
Yeah, I've
2 times.
I've been twice in Mexico. I've been 3 times in Australia. I've done Sweden, Norway, Denmark, Finland. I've done Germany, obviously. Spain, Belgium, France, Austria, Switzerland. I maybe forget if I forgot anyone out there. I'm so sorry.
Don't worry.
I've been able to see quite a lot of places already, and the goal is to see also a bit more. You know, I would love to go to the States at some point. I would, like to play in Europe, like in Spain, or maybe playing in Portugal. There's like spots where hardstyle is also not that big yet, like Portugal, but I want to help make this, grow the scene. It's nothing better, because if it's the same as in Mexico. If the scene grows here, it opens up the door for me maybe again that I can come back and that I can play for even more people, meet even more people out there. And, it's the, I think it's a give and take. I support the promoters as much as I can. The promoters are then able to make parties which we really like, with even crazier special effects or even crazier crowds. You know what I mean? It's a give and take.
This Saturday you play in Epic Party, and what do you think about it?
It was really dope. I think the crowd was crazy. It was warm, I have to say, but everyone brought the energy, and that's the most important. I think the Mexican people are the most dedicated people there are. Right? We did a meet and greet, and I don't know, it was like 150, 200 people waiting there for photos, which is for me also by far not normal, So I really, it was really, really great, I have to say. We visited on Friday also in Toluca. See, I remember. We visited there as well, and same thing. People were just so dedicated. It is refreshing for us to see, because in the Netherlands people have it more often, the events. So it's more common for them.
Maybe for them it's normal to see Imperatorz this week and the next week, and
indeed, and then here people see me maybe once a year, maybe once every 2 years, So I'm also really happy that we could take the time to really meet everyone, and thank you for that.
No, thank you to come to Mexico. And what experience do you take away of Mexico?
I don't know. I think where you guys are when it comes to hospitality and being on a human level, I think there's a lot what people in Europe, not everyone of course, but what people in Europe can learn maybe. You guys are just really, really hospitable, which I've not been a lot in Mexico yet, so that was for me a really positive take back out of that. Aside all the let's take all the music stuff aside. I think on the human level, it's just we were at the Luchas, and
yes,
someone just they bring you to the spot. They take so good in general. They take just good care of you, which it is not always like that in Europe, right? It depends also from country to country, but I think you guys are just super fucking hospitable, which is. I love it.
And did you already like Luchas?
Yeah, bro, Luchas was fucking hectic.
Why?
But they unmasked someone. I got told that is like a death penalty, kinda, and they took off his mask in the ring. The first time I was ever at the Luchas fight, I was crazy, right? I think that overall that concept is just cool. You go out with your boys or with your family and meet everyone.
Look, this guy.
Did I hear Lucha? Did I hear Lucha? Somebody say Lucha? Oh,
this is the fighter El Granjero Rico.
I love you, Michael. Yeah, I think that kind of concept, that really reflects it. It's just, people are themselves. I think it's also cool when, as soon as people wear masks, they're also. I think they're more themselves than before, because people don't know who you are. I think that's a big part, and like I said, I really enjoyed it. I understand why people go to it. I wish, And
you can say everything you want.
You can shout anything, right? I don't repeat what I've heard, right? Because I'm a polite young man. But you can imagine, or else you have to go and check out the luchas.
Yeah, sure. And which one was your favorite Mexican food?
I think, look, I love tacos because it's just,
for sure.
That's really nice to eat.
Pastor, you say? What?
Yeah, the pastor ones, and we had like a tortilla, and there was chicken, and was cheese, and like some spices.
Quesadilla.
Yeah, we had quesadillas as well. Those were also delicious. I think I would say that in that direction, or I forgot the name of the soup. The soup.
Pozole.
Pozole. I'm so sorry. I don't want to disrespect anyone, but the pozole was also great because it's a flavor we don't have, right? I'm happy my stomach survived everything because I think I've never ate so much spicy food. I think
I swear you, I don't understand how you can survive, because this guy was always eating spicy chili, and I was always worried because I told him like, hey, be careful, because when many artists from another side of the world come to Mexico, always get sick. And this guy and Mike too, they are like, I don't have problems.
No, that's okay. I mean, I can't complain. I love spicy food, and your spicy is a bit different than our spicy, which is awesome. So I still have to buy a hot sauce. I forgot. But no, I think food-wise, the food itself is great. But I think what makes your cuisine a bit more special is that it's for, you can eat it all together. You put like a taco pyramid on the table, and then everyone takes from it. It's like it's the surrounding, I believe, which makes your food also so special, I guess, because it's more for sharing. It's like for everyone, so to say.
Yeah.
I hope. I mean, that's how I experience it.
Yeah, okay. And if you could say something to all your fans being with you this Saturday, what would we say?
I'm thankful for you all coming out. I'm also, great. I think it's great that you guys are supporting new events, like as example from Epic, because without those guys, you will have not the chance to see certain artists, and the scene is not growing. So keep supporting the promoters, right? Doesn't matter if it's dedicated, doesn't matter if it's Epic. If you can go to the parties, it's an experience you will not forget. And thank you for showing up. I felt super welcome. Everyone was really respectful, and I can't wait to see you all again and meet you all again, because this is not an experience I take for granted, and I will keep working hard that I'm hopefully be able to come back. So I think in this regard, just keep going to the parties, even though it's maybe a bit tough at the moment or whatever, but it's good for you guys to go out, meet people who have the same passion, support the promoters if you can, because in the end I think everyone just wants that more people can come here to play music for you.
Sure.
Right.
Sure. Why did you mention in social media that it would be your last back-to-back with Adjust?
It will be possibly the last back-to-back in Mexico. I mean,
okay.
In Mexico, not overall, but I think it's the chance. It's already for us not granted or gifted that we get to Mexico. You know what I mean? And then being able to go as one of your best friends, basically to go to Mexico, is already an even lesser chance. And then also being, able to play also together for a dedicated crowd like this, the chance is just relatively low that this will happen anytime soon again. Our agendas are also sometimes different, and it doesn't work. He plays here. You know what I mean? The chance is relatively low that it happens again, and it's maybe the sad truth. But maybe I come back with someone else, and we will do something cool for you. Maybe you never know what happens in the future. But I hope we did something great for y'all, and it was a performance which you, like I said, possibly not get again. Maybe never get again, because. The stars have to align for the stuff.
And you already prepared edit for Mexican crowd, right?
Yeah.
What is the name of this song that you remember? Alacranes Musical, I think.
Yeah, I think
it was
we made two. We made in total 2 edits for Mexican tracks.
Yeah.
One is a bit more famous, but I'm we will put right here the names of the tracks because I will butcher it. I don't know how to. I'm so sorry. Right, El Prosti. Oh God,
Prostipiro Golfo.
Prostipilo Golfo.
Yes. And you can say why you decide to make that edit, because you take the decision when we were in Teotihuacan, right?
Yeah. We decided that we were listening to it, and then we were talking about it in a car together, and then we're like, look, it shouldn't be too hard to make an edit out of it, right? And the lyrics were fun. What he was singing about.
Was in the car or was in the restaurant when we bought the pulque? Yeah. I think was in the restaurant.
It can also be in the restaurant. And we had to put, I later pulque, my friends. Mango pulque is good.
Yeah, mango pulque.
But we basically decided that we could make an edit out of it, and then Justin and I said, okay, let's make it a little challenge and say we make the edit in 60 minutes max. I think we needed in total like 25 or 30. It came out fairly nice and quick together, I hope that the reactions were cool. Next time we are in Mexico, we'll be able to play it, or you have to go to this young man's set, because did we send it already?
No.
We'll send it when we are back on the computer, and then you have to check out his next set, and then you will be able to hear it. Ain't that something, my friends?
And you can say with who will be your next collaboration?
I'm finishing, as we speak, we're working on a new collaboration with Aversion, which will be premiered at his own event at Dare to Dream on Saturday. So the track is, I would say, good. It's like 70% done. I'm working on a new collaboration with Adjust for our Reavers back-to-back. Actually,
for a new one?
Yeah, like a complete new collab, and we have a new bootleg together. So we work on 2 to 3 new projects for Reavers. I finished now something with Bloodlust. I will work again with Fraud this year. I will work. I don't know if I will work with someone else. I'm not too sure if I'm allowed to announce that yet. But he's making music for over 10-15 years, is a legend, right? And it's someone I always wanted to work with. I'm sorry that you need a little bit tension and we have to leave in here, right? But we will announce that also soon, because it's nice to work on collaborations, right? But I hope that people know me then also for my music,
If you could give advice to the Mexican DJ producers, what would you be?
You don't need big equipment or anything, my friends. Just try to get yourself Fruity Loops. It's, I don't know how much it is in pesos, right? It is affordable. Save up for it. All you need is Fruity Loops and a pair of headphones. That's all it needs to start. You don't need a lot of equipment. You don't need to buy plugins. You don't need. That's all bullshit. You have to start, understand the program, understand where you. Understand how to get the workflow, and then it's just time. You will sit really, really often in front of your computer, and you'll be really often demotivated because it doesn't sound as you want and it doesn't go in the direction you want. And trust me, I've been through that 100,000 times. I don't know. In my career, I wanted to quit already like 30 or 40 times, I guess, where I was like, fuck all this shit. But all you have to do is the next day you go back on the PC and you try again.
Do you remember the last Friday we were talking about you don't need a super nice studio to make music?
You don't need it. You know what I mean? It's, for me, I'm really happy to have a studio where I can do this, right? But if you start off, like I said, computer, if you have any kind of speakers on it, right, it's all enough to start. Everything else will come. Check out YouTube videos. There's now producing courses for beginners from Neros as example, which I can recommend, right? Shout out, my friend. It's doing a great job with the courses. See if you have producers here in Mexico at some point, maybe, which you can reach out to. The most important is really put the time in. It will take you a while, and it's the honest truth, right? This is not, making music is hard.
We almost finished. Mm-hmm. So I want to ask you, did you take production classes?
Yeah,
or
I still do.
Oh, really?
I still do. I'm blessed now that a lot of the people became my friends, right? So I can just, as example, Bloodlust, I just call him. I'm like, look, man, I this is how it sounds. How what is missing, how can we get to the end result, and then he's trying to explain to me, or it's like, or when I ask him, how did you make this sound, can you, you know, teach me, sensei, all right? For me, I'm now in a position where those are my friends, so it's for me easier to get there, but like I said, harder class from Dr. Peacock's, that's his project, right? There you can go to courses. I think Neros does a good job with his beginner course, because he explains you how the DAW, it's called, like how FL Studio as example works, and from there, like, look, when you have that course, you will not be the best producer afterwards. I will take you that out of it already, but that gives you a base. How do you learn to understand where you can go back to, re-listen, right? I'm also still taking courses. I would love to sit with as example, debug and Estefan in the studio and just be like soaking up everything, how they do it, because they do it for so long. I had the same when I work with Michael, how he does his things, right? Try to sit with other people in the studio. I think this is where I learn the most, right? I'm not good with sitting at home and watching a video and then doing my stuff. I really need someone next to me who is like, I need the practical work, so to say.
I really appreciate that you can be so humble and honest, and that you are authentic, you know? You don't need to say nothing.
No, I hope so. I mean, look, I'm just a normal guy, you know what I mean? I'm, like I said, I don't want to sound like dumb or whatever, but I feel that we're all just humans, so to say, and I'm blessed that I have a lot of people who like my stuff and that I can do these things I can do. I'm also working really hard for it, but it doesn't make me a better person. It doesn't make me something better than anyone else, right? We're all like, don't forget where you come from. You know, it is sometimes also difficult, and I also still learn that. But in the end, I'm nothing better. I'm trying to take always the time for everyone. I'm trying to do my best to be really to stay who I am, and it's not always easy, because when fame and stuff comes around, I know it changes a lot of people. But bro, whoever gets like his ego too big that he thinks he's something better, in all honesty, get your shit together. It's really not it. That's how I think about it, you know. I don't want to offend anyone, but I think that, you know, just be yourself, do your things, and be kind to everyone around you. Good things attract good things.
I want to thank you to bring us the opportunity to have you here in the podcast. For us, it's really important, because, you know, you are not always in Mexico. So thank you for giving us the opportunity to have you here, and thank you to come to Epic Party. Was insane for the first edition. I think was super nice party, and I want to thank you everything.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you for having me. Thank you for the trust, right? Thanks to also all of you out there who came out or who are listening to this now. Like I said, make sure you share the stuff. Make sure you come to the parties, because if you don't do it, he can't make another party and I can't come back. You see where the circle goes? So get tickets for the next event when it's as far, and then, you know.
In May.
See, we're spilling the beans here, right? I will be not there in May. I know you're sad now. I will be not here in May. But it will be a great party. I'm fairly sure of that. Yes. So thank you for your trust also, and I hope to see you all soon again.
Yes, for sure. I hope to have you again in Epic, and thanks for your time.
No problem. No problem. Great.
Okay. Bueno, pues hasta aquí el capítulo del día de hoy, amigos. Gracias por quedarse hasta el final. Para todos ustedes, este tipazo que se llama Imperatorz. Y pues bueno, thank you, Kevin. See you next time.
No problem. Thank you.
Bye bye.